What's up guys, it's Tony here and welcome back to Man Cave Studios. So I haven't done a real sit down video in a while, but in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys some college advice. This is not bad advice, by the way. This is good advice. I have a series on this channel that's called Bad Advice. This is not that. This is actually good advice from somebody that spent 2 years in college myself. So a lot of you are going back to college next month, whether for the first time as a freshman, for the first time as a sophomore who was online last year. Well, suck it, I don't go back till Labor Day. But anyways, here are 8 tips that I have for anybody that's going to college for the first time. And even if you're not going to college for the first time, some things that current college students might be able to learn from this. Step 1, set your priorities straight. This is really the first thing you can do before you even get started, because at the end of the day, you have to break college down into 3 different areas: school, extracurriculars, and social life. And if you don't set your priorities straight, then you're going to wind up making a mistake. Now, you might be surprised for me to be telling you this, but extracurriculars actually are the top priority of this list. I'm not saying you should blow off class in favor of extracurriculars, but you should blow off doing homework in favor of extracurriculars. Or at least you should set your homework schedule around your extracurriculars. And of course, you shouldn't devote too much time to extracurriculars. You want to consume everything in moderation, so you should still have plenty of time for homework after setting your extracurriculars for the semester. And of course, social life comes below both of those, but don't let that make you think I'm going to kind of write off having any free time in college. Just stay tuned, you'll see where I'm going with this. Step 2 is to simplify everything. You will get 5 sets of syllabi. That is 5 different sets of schedules. Merge that into 1 or 2. You should have 1 calendar and then you should have 1 planner. Use Google Calendar or something to keep track of classes and study times and stuff like that, and then use a planner to keep track of what you need to do by which day. Actually, the way I use my planner is I set what days I'm going to do homework in advance for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then I kind of finish out the week, planning day by day at that point. So on Wednesday night, I'll figure out what I'm going to do on Thursday. On Thursday night, I'll figure out what I'm going to do on Friday and Saturday, and then I'm going to reset on Sunday night and again plan when I'm going to do homework on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Step 3, 6 days on, 1 day off. If you don't take any days off, you will be burnt out by November. Trust me, I made that mistake. Designate 1 day as your day off and stick with that every day of the semester. For example, in the fall 2019 and I think in the spring 2020 as well, the day off for me was Sundays, because that was when football was on in the fall and NASCAR was on in the spring. So I would set Sundays as my day off, and I wouldn't do any work on Sundays. That would kind of be my relaxation day. On the flip side, don't take off more than 1 day a week, because you'll find yourself getting behind if you start taking 2, 3, or 4 days off in a week. Step 4, get ahead. I know this kind of is a paradox with what I just said, but here's a scenario to kind of make this more clear. Say it's 7 p.m. You're at the library, you just finished doing your homework that you needed to do for the next day. What do? Your first class isn't until 10:20 the next morning. Do you A, go back to your room and watch whatever you want on TV, or B, study some more to get ahead? I would tell you to study more and get ahead, because the less pressure you put on yourself, the less you'll be burnt out by November and December. I mean, most people usually get burnt out because they procrastinate their work and ultimately they don't want to do it in the end. How to fix this is just to simply get ahead. In fact, I'm actually trying to get ahead right now because I just ordered my textbooks and I've started reading some of them. And yes, it is July 11th when I'm recording this. But I mean, you have to do the work anyway, and you're really not done until you've done all your work for the semester. So as much as you can get ahead, do that. On the contrary, moving on to step 5, carpe diem. Now this is kind of contrary to what I just said, because it's about looking at things day by day instead of big picture, and when you start doing work ahead of what you're supposed to be doing, you start looking at things more big picture. And I guess the key is to control that, but with this step, what I mean is you should not focus necessarily on big picture stuff, what you have to do for an entire semester, but more what you have to do each day or each sequence of days. For example, I said earlier in the video, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, that's when I would set schedules for on Sunday night. and then on Wednesday night I would set my schedule for Thursday. On Thursday night I'd set my schedule for Friday and maybe Saturday at times, and then I'd go back and reset on Sunday nights. But here's the thing. It's great to read your syllabi at the beginning of the semester. It's also terrible because you start thinking of all the work you're going to have to do for the semester. So you have to kind of be mentally tough on yourself, and this is where having a planner and a calendar really come in handy, because they can kind of show you that, hey, yes, there is all of this work, there is a huge list of stuff that you need to do, but when you start looking at the dates they're due, and you start thinking of, oh, well, I only have 2 assignments due for this day, or oh, I only have to read 1 chapter for this textbook by October 27th, for example, and that's all the work that I have to do for that day. Then it becomes simpler for you. So just think of things kind of day by day, or even, half week by half week, but don't think of things like big picture, because then you're just going to stress yourself out. Step 6, ignore anything negative that you have ever been told about college. In elementary school, they told you middle school teachers were going to suck. In middle school, they told you high school teachers were going to suck. In high school, they told you college professors were going to suck. The first 2 weren't true, and the last one isn't true either. In fact, I was told by a professor at my college orientation that I would be spending 50 to 60 hours a week on college. Think of that. That's like 10 to 20 hours more than a full-time job. And in fact, I didn't. On average, probably my first 4 semesters, I spent 30 hours a week, maybe 40 at most, during the final stretch in November and December. But mostly it was an average of 30 hours a week. And I made Dean's List all 4 semesters. Here's the thing. Everybody wants you to think that college is bad. Even your friends want you to think that college is bad. Maybe they don't want to, intentionally make you think that college is bad, but the way that they say things makes it sound like college is such a drag, that it's like the worst thing ever, that it's 4 years of hell. It's really not. You're not going to be up till 3 a.m. doing homework every night, or even every week. In fact, I only did homework at 3 a.m. when I wanted to, and that was only when I had late classes and I wanted to get ahead in my work. Aside from that, I never really studied at 3 a.m. Actually, that's kind of a mini step there. Get your sleep in college, okay? Don't study at 3 a.m. no matter what. I mean, I had classes in the afternoon, so it was okay, and that's the only time I did homework at 3 a.m. But don't do it if you have morning classes, because that's only going to be detrimental to you. Step 7, figure out when to drop a class. Well, you should drop a class within the first week, but this is how you should have a criteria for dropping a class. You shouldn't do it just because you, don't like the professor, don't like the material, especially if it's a requirement, you have to take it anyway. So here's my guide to dropping a class. Read the syllabus. Attend 2 classes, not just the first one, attend the second class. Think about the alternative, and also have an alternative class lined up even before the semester begins that you can pick up in case you need to drop any of your classes. By Thursday night of the first week, come to a decision whether or not you're going to drop a class, and stick to that decision. If you decide to drop a class first thing Friday morning, see your advisor and drop that class. Here's kind of another tip. It's a total cliche, but RateMyProfessors.com is your best friend in college. But if you're stuck with a professor, then go through that system that I just mentioned and drop the class if you really feel like that class is going to prove detrimental to A, your mental health, and B, your GPA. Step 8, final step, just have fun. College is not always easy, but it is not at all always tough. Do things that make you happy, because after the 4 years are up, you're either going to move back in with your parents, or you're going to move into an apartment or a house and start having to pay rent / a mortgage, bills, taxes, and all that fun stuff. So you're in college, just have a little bit of fun. I'll give you some examples. Fall 2019, I had an on-campus job. I spent Sundays with friends, or watching football, or both. I recorded my own TV show on, I think, Wednesdays during fall 2019, And I even made a few Man Cave Studios videos while I was there. This next semester is a big one because I'm going to Raleigh in the middle of the semester. Not midterms week or anything like that, but I'm going to Raleigh, North Carolina. That's going to be part of my fun for the semester. And you know, there are just so many things that kind of happen. I mean, this shirt I got by winning a shoot-around at a basketball game at my college. Seriously, I was just, you know, watching the game, and a guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, do you want to take part in this shoot-around thing that we do?" And I'd seen this thing before, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And so I did it, and I won. And then I was selected again in January, and apparently lost, even though neither of us made a three-pointer. But I don't care. I got another shirt upstairs anyway. So really, just have fun. But anyways, if you're a new college student, good luck. If you're a returning college student, also good luck. If you're me looking for advice later, delete this video because you have deeply, deeply failed yourself. But anyways, thank you again so much for watching, and peace out, broskies.